What if I told you that becoming the best version of yourself doesn't require a total life overhaul? It's not about drastic, overwhelming changes. Instead, it's about embracing small, meaningful habits that, when practiced consistently, can completely transform your life. These habits don't just improve your productivity or focus, they bring peace, clarity, and a deep sense of fulfillment. As 2024 comes to a close, many of us are reflecting on what went well and where we fell short. The truth is, we often set big goals, but fail to take the small, consistent steps to achieve them. That's why now, right now, is the perfect time to start. Imagine walking into 2025 with a clear mind, a strong heart, and habits that set you up for lasting success. The habits we'll explore today are designed to help you prepare for the next chapter of your life, one step at a time. But it's even more special because these habits are based in timeless Buddhist teachings. Buddhism suggests that actual transformation occurs when we rest our attention in the present moment. It has nothing to do with taking a dash for the future or staying bogged down in the past. It's all about being balanced in the now. And these habits come from a tradition of mindfulness, compassion, and discipline that has helped people find peace and fulfillment for centuries. And the best part, they're totally utilitarian for our modern lives. At the end of this video, we'll have worked out a roadmap for 10 powerful habits that will not only help you become a better version of yourself, but also help you live a balanced, clear, and growing life. These habits will guide you toward happiness, healthier relationships, or a more spiritual life. Let's start this journey together and take the first step toward becoming the best version of yourself before 2025. Lesson 1. Start each day with gratitude. How long has it been since you woke up and it felt genuine to be thankful? For the big or the small quiet things that often go unnoticed, not just for your family, your health, and your home, but for being grateful is a simple but transformational practice. It controls how your whole day will unfold from the time you open your eyes. In those first waking moments of the day, your mind is fresh, thin, unburdened. The tone for the rest of your day depends on what you choose to focus on. As a starting point from gratitude, even the most difficult days will become growth and positivity opportunities. For the Buddhists, gratitude is a part and parcel of mindfulness. Being, in its essence, is really about bringing awareness of all the blessings in your life, no matter how small. These are reminders of life's quiet beauty, morning breeze, the warmth of sunlight streaming through your window, even waking up to another day. Gratitude changes your perception. Instead of spending time thinking about what you don't have or did wrong the day before, it focuses your mind on that which is present and available to you right now. This shift doesn't stay in you. It spills out onto the social world, the changes you face, the way you relate to others, and the way you think about yourself. You can make this a daily habit by kicking each morning off with an idea of the day ahead. When you wake up, resist the urge to pull your phone out or worry about your to-do list. However, instead, take a deep breath and silently say you're grateful for 3 things. These don't have to be grand gestures, but they don't have to be life-changing events. That's those simple things, like the comfort you get from your bed, or the laughter from a loved one, or the promise of a fresh start. Let this moment of gratitude ground you, a cleanse to keep your head stocked with good for the day ahead. If you want to go deeper with this practice, then we are, or should be, keeping a gratitude journal. It helps you remember those things. Writing it down makes them solidified in your mind and gives you a record of positivity you can flip through, even on bad days. If you want a stronger effect, instead of speaking the gratitude, say it out loud. Saying these words out loud to yourself, or someone you love, or even to the universe, takes a simple thought and makes it into a heartfelt declaration of the mind and the heart. Starting your day with gratitude is not only an emotional exercise, it's also a physical and mental one. We know that regular gratitude practice is linked with lowering stress, improving sleep, and improving happiness overall. It's like undergoing a brain training. You're consciously telling yourself to focus on the good, rewiring your brain to see opportunities not as obstacles. It fits perfectly with Buddhist teachings, which are the opposite of being present and appreciative of the now. Gratitude brings you out of the past or fear. The present moment is beautiful. What if we began our days like this? You instead wake up feeling overwhelmed or rushed, but instead you start with peace, purpose, and appreciation. Thankfulness isn't a shield from life's hardships, but it provides you with the fortitude and clarity to take it on. Perfection is not something, it's about presence. In other words, take the first step tomorrow morning. Take a minute before you roll out of bed and focus on 3 things that you're grateful for. Make this practice your starting point for your day, and as you work with it, you'll find your mornings becoming much more positive than they did before. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a lifestyle, a sign that there is extraordinary beauty in the ordinary. What are you thankful for today? Lesson 2. Practice daily mindfulness. Have you ever gotten so sucked into a thought that you essentially missed your own life pass you by? Maybe you've had a full meal with no taste in your mouth, or done a task without remembering how you did it. Mindfulness is the opposite of this when life feels rushed, overwhelming, or routine, which we all fall into at one time or another. Whereas mindfulness is the art of being fully here and fully aware. Practicing mindfulness in a world that's overrun with distractions is radical. It is about pausing, stepping away from thoughts that circle like a whirlwind, being. Mindfulness isn't just a habit for Buddhists, it's how they live life. Anchoring yourself in the present moment without judgment, without distraction. If you're mindful, you're not dwelling on the past or focusing on the future. Now, you're fully in the now, and this simple shift can change the way you live. Imagine washing the dishes. Now it's simple, mundane, right? Mindfulness welcomes you to look at it differently. Clean that plate. Feel the warmth of the water on your skin. Notice the scent of the soap. Watch the texture of the plate as you clean it. It's small, but by being mindful about everyday things, you'll be surprised at how much peace and clarity you feel. It has nothing to do with doing something new. It's about raising awareness of what you are already doing. Mindfulness may help you to feel calm, but it provides a wealth of other benefits too. From reducing stress to improving focus to promoting relationships, it has been proven to do it all. Why? Because mindfulness teaches you how to be here, present with people and experiences in your life. Listening with awareness means that you hear emotions too. Working mindfully means doing so completely, without any other thoughts in mind while you work. What then is the best way to practice mindfulness on a daily basis? It starts with small, conscious, done things. At the start of your day, take a few deep breaths before getting out of bed. Fill up your lungs with air and allow your mind to flush away the rest of what has been going on. Take periodic checks in with yourself throughout your day. What I am feeling right now is a question you should be asking. I ask myself, what is happening in this moment? Focus on the movement, the sounds, and the feelings around you during whatever you're doing, whether you're sipping your morning coffee, walking to work, or sitting in silence. Mindfulness doesn't take hours of meditation or perfect concentration. It's about catching moments of awareness in the insanity of regular life. The time between thoughts, the period of inaction, the rock in the middle of the storm. As you repeat these tiny practices of mindfulness, these simple things become a natural extension of your life, bringing clarity and ease to how you live within this world. The beauty of mindfulness is that it's always available to you. No matter where you are or what you're doing, you can choose to be fully present. So, take a deep breath, notice this moment, and let mindfulness guide you back to yourself. Because life isn't happening in the past or the future, it's happening right now. Lesson 3. Spend time in silence. How long has it been since you were in complete silence? No phone scrolling, no world ahead planning, just sitting quietly for a moment and letting the world fade away. It's strange these days. In all of the noise and in the rush of everyday life, silence almost feels unnatural, doesn't it? The idea of being still can feel unsettling. But here's the truth. Silence is one of the most powerful tools to have when seeking clarity and/or peace. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's a place for reflection and reconnecting with yourself, says Buddhism. Your mind can settle like a pond whose surface goes clear when the ripples die away, as it is in the stillness. Spending some time in silence gives you space to watch what you think without passing judgment. As you start to observe, you see patterns in how you think. You understand your emotions more fully and reveal why you had answers to questions buried in the noise. Silence is the simple but powerful thing. You don't have to sit in a special setting or have hours of free time. 5 or 10 minutes of stillness can make a difference. First off, look for a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you like, and breathe, and then breathe, and then breathe. Disappear into the nothingness of the world. Maybe you hear the soft rustle of leaves outside or the hum of traffic in the distance. That's not something to distract you from, it is to just exist with it. First, it might be uneasy to be silent. What you will do is that your mind will fill the void with the thoughts, which you need to do later, or something happened yesterday, or some random ideas. That's perfectly okay. It's not about silencing your thoughts, but rather about being present with them without going down that rabbit hole. Imagine that every single thought is a cloud floating across the sky. Acknowledge it and watch it float by. The changes you notice as you practice spending time in silence depend on you. Your cues will remain in your mind. Drawing from them will be less cluttered, your thoughts will be clearer, and your emotions will be balanced. Silence becomes a place to reset and recharge. It becomes a refuge. It seems like a pause button on life. It's space to breathe, to just be. The benefits of silence go well beyond those quiet moments. You become accustomed to making stillness habitual and bringing its calmness into your daily life. You're listening with presence, and the conversations become more meaningful because you're present. When your mind is clearer, you make decisions easier. But challenges still seem non-threatening because you've cultivated inner peace. It doesn't take long to develop the habit of spending time in silence. And it doesn't use effort, and it doesn't call for results. The premise is to facilitate making a space where you can be with yourself and the moment at hand. There is power in that stillness, clarity, and a peace that isn't found in eliminating the noise, but rather in being able to thrive in it. So, take a moment today. So turn around and get to a corner that's quiet, and look around and close your eyes and listen to silence take you back to yourself. It's neither a break from the noise, but a way to mental clarity and inner peace. Lesson 4. Cultivate compassion. Imagine for a moment that every person you come in contact with today has a burden you don't see. This might be something small, something stressful, like a thought, or something bigger, something deep and personal. We never know what others endure, yet what if we treated them differently, with more understanding and kindness? At its core, compassion is about empathy. It's about looking at others and seeing their suffering and extending our hand towards them. But compassion isn't just about how we treat others, it's how we treat ourselves. In Buddhism, compassion is one of the highest virtues. It is a feeling for others, not in the way that we pity, but as a friend. The literal meaning of the word compassion, to suffer together. It's the knowing that we are all one and we all suffer from life's adventures. Just as with thousands of years ago, this ancient wisdom is still so relevant today. In reality, in a world that begins to seem more disconnected than anything else, maybe kindness could be the connection between us and others, and to ourselves. We've heard the phrase, treat others the way you want to be treated, a million times over, but how often have we stopped to really consider how we treat ourselves? Self-kindness is the beginning of compassion. What it's about is realizing that no one's perfect and you're no different. Whatever time has been taken for another is someone to offer to yourself too. We can be our own harshest critics, always emphasizing whatever is wrong with us. And what if instead we treated ourselves the same way we'd treat ourselves if we truly loved ourselves? So to cultivate compassion, start with being kind to yourself. If you make a mistake, rather than beating yourself up, say it's okay. And I'm learning, this is on my path. When you're stressed or overwhelmed, give yourself a moment of care, either by taking a deep breath, going for a walk, or, if you're like me, just saying to yourself, I am doing my best. Compassion, however, is not just reserved for yourself. It also means providing empathy to others. When you interact with people near to you or not, you should try to understand their perspective. That could be as small as either listening, not interrupting, giving a word of comfort, or waiting patiently for someone to struggle. Can you imagine the change we would experience if we all put in the effort to show up with kindness, and everyone around you felt seen and understood, simply based on your own actions? The best thing about compassion is that it's contagious. Treat others with kindness, and they'll treat you with the same. And if you're compassionate to yourself, you have yourself in a positive, healthy environment for you to grow. It builds your relationships, it leads to a feeling of connection, and it creates more peace within your life. It takes no more than gestures of compassion to cultivate compassion. It's in the little things. A small smile to someone you don't know, a small word of kindness to a friend, a small moment of patience for yourself. It's about being with other people and being mindful of whether they are present, whether we can see them, and whether we can acknowledge their humanity. It's about being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself once you've made a mistake, and growing yourself. In Buddhism, compassion is sometimes called the heart of wisdom. When you live with an open heart, only empathy and understanding in it, you put yourself out there for deeper connections, more happiness, and a more peaceful world. Today, practice compassion. First, begin with you. Be kind, understanding, and accept yourself growing. Thus, if you spread such goodwill to whomever is around you, meeting life with compassion astounds you with how much lighter life actually feels. Lesson 5. Journal for emotional balance. Have you ever felt like your emotions seem to take over you? You don't know where they are coming from or how to handle them. At times, our thoughts and feelings completely overshadow us in a way that clouds our judgment or depletes our energy. It's easy to get caught up in this emotional whirlwind, but here's a powerful tool you can use to regain balance and clarity. Journaling isn't just about writing all that goes down throughout the day. Reflection is a practice. It is getting a sense of how thoughts and emotions can move through you in a complex web of this. By writing about your experiences, you help to untangle your feelings, discover some kind of mental state, and feel some kind of emotional balance. Based on Buddhist teaching, this practice is deeply based in self-awareness to understand the mind and attain peace. In Buddhism, the mind has been described in various ways. There is also a poem comparing the mind to a car. You can also see clearly when the water is still, but when the water gets stirred up, it becomes muddy, and those who navigate are at times hard-pressed to do so. And so, the emotions are like the water in that lake. Of course, when we don't stop to reflect on our emotions, they can get in the way of our clarity. With journaling, we are able to calm the waters of our mind, giving us the space to observe our emotions without judging. The beauty of journaling lies in you connecting with yourself, something that words cannot do. Writing your thoughts down can give you an idea of why you feel the way you feel. You might be anxious for some reason, but when you put it on paper, you realize that you're worried about an upcoming event you have planned. You might be frustrated, but as you think about it some more, you realize that you're frustrated because you don't feel heard or you don't feel understood. The writing process helps to bring unconscious feelings out into the open and more easily understood and managed. Journaling is not about writing exactly or having a deep voice. It's about leaving space to tell you what you feel inside. It doesn't take a lot of time. Only a few minutes a day can change how you deal with your emotions. Writing it down when you're angry, sad, or confused can free you from it, putting into words all the emotional heft you've been carrying around. When you put it on paper, you've given it space to come into clarity and peace. To make journaling a daily habit, if nothing else, spend 5 minutes a day first thing in the morning or right before you go to sleep. Just sit down and start with simply writing about how you're feeling right then and there. Structure or format doesn't matter. Just let your words flow freely. It doesn't matter if you are very bad with grammar or punctuation. The trick here is to speak your mind without fear of judgment. You'll gradually experience how journaling positively affects your psychological balance. It helps you understand who you are better and why you are as you are. It helps you handle emotional triggers more clearly and calmly and learn to navigate life's thornier, more trying problems. And for that reason, take some time to cover your head with a journal today and write down what's going on in your head. Whatever juice, joy, frustration, confusion, or peace it is, let it all out. Doing this allows you to create space for emotional balance and clarity when the world can be so overwhelming. Remember, whatever you are feeling and thinking is valid. By writing these things down, you are paying attention to them and giving them what they need. Lesson 6. Meditate daily. Have you ever felt chaotic around you but centered inside? It has nothing to do with life's stresses or distractions, although you might think you are in some sense avoiding it. That comes from being able to anchor yourself through everything that is going on around you. One of the most powerful ways to have that sense of inner peace is through meditation. Meditation isn't just a spiritual practice. It's a way of getting mentally clear and emotionally well. Meditation serves as a basis for a well-balanced life in Buddhism. Meditation is a practice where we learn to stop the mind, arrive in the present moment, and anchor ourselves more deeply into a state of deeper peace. Meditation is a safe place. If it's for a few minutes or an hour, you can just be. The first idea of meditating every day may be daunting. You might say, but how do I spare the time? Dare I sit still and not think? I love that meditation doesn't have to be perfect. How long you can sit or how often you're able to sit doesn't matter if your mind wanders. It's not about how often you train, it's just that you train. As with physical exercise, meditation gets more effective the more you do it. You are not attempting to halt your thoughts when you meditate. In actuality, attempting to accomplish it may result in dissatisfaction. Rather, the objective is to watch your ideas without becoming enmeshed in them. Imagine your thoughts are like leaves floating on the water's surface while you're sitting beside a river. You just watch them go by. You don't try to catch them all or prevent them from floating. Learning to be present with your thoughts without allowing them to take over is the core of mindfulness meditation. Practically speaking, Beginning a meditation practice doesn't have to be difficult. Start by dedicating only 5 or 10 minutes per day. Locate a peaceful area where you won't be bothered. Sit comfortably with your back straight, but relaxed on a chair or cushion. Shut your eyes, inhale deeply, and just pay attention to your breathing. Take note of your body's feelings as you breathe in and out, such as the coolness of the air entering your nose and the rise and fall of your chest. At first, your mind will wander. You might think about your to-do list, past experiences, or future worries. This is completely normal. Each time your mind drifts, gently bring your attention back to your breath. This act of returning your focus is where the magic happens. With each moment of mindfulness, you strengthen your ability to stay grounded, calm, and focused, even in life's busiest or most stressful moments. The impact of meditation on your mental well-being is significant. It helps you focus better, feel less stressed, and experience less anxiety. However, it does more than just make you feel better right away. It gradually rewires your brain. Regular meditation has been shown to alter the structure of the brain, enlarging the regions linked to attention, empathy, and emotional control. Daily meditation strengthens your foundation for overcoming obstacles in life by fostering mental and emotional resilience. Meditation is frequently referred to as the path to enlightenment in Buddhism. Meditation helps you gain a deeper understanding of yourself by revealing truths about your thoughts, feelings, and reactions, even when enlightenment may seem like a far-off ideal. It provides you with the strength to remain composed in the face of uncertainty, the patience to react carefully, and the clarity to see things more clearly. Therefore, incorporate meditation into your daily regimen without exception. Begin modestly and gradually expand the practice. It only needs to be consistent. It doesn't need to be flawless. You'll notice that you get more focused, grounded, and in tune with the here and now with every session. Meditation is a straightforward yet effective technique for developing inner serenity. Meditation is a simple yet powerful way to cultivate inner peace, and it's a tool you can carry with you wherever you go. Lesson 7. Practice self-discipline. We've all experienced those moments when motivation is high, when we feel like we can conquer the world and stick to every goal we've set. But what happens when that motivation fades? What happens when the excitement wanes and the discipline we need to keep going feels out of reach? This is where the true power of self-discipline comes in. It's the ability to commit to your habits and goals, even when motivation is no longer pushing you forward. Buddhism views self-discipline as a means of strengthening one's inner power and training the mind. Rigid control and making yourself do things you don't love are not the point. Rather, it's about establishing a structure for constant action, even in the absence of outside motivation. Making choices based on your long-term ideals and objectives, regardless of how you're feeling at the time, is the essence of self-discipline. It's the silent resolve to show up each day, whatever the difficulties along the way. One of the biggest misconceptions about self-discipline is that it's something you either have or you don't. But the truth is, discipline is a skill that you can develop over time, just like any other habit. It's about small, consistent actions. When you commit to something, no matter how small, and follow through on it, you are strengthening your self-discipline. The secret to self-discipline is realizing that it's not about depending on motivational spikes. Motivation is fleeting, ebbing and flowing like the tide, but regardless of the circumstances, self-discipline is like the anchor that holds you afloat. Buddhism emphasizes the development of right effort, which is the process of moving closer to our objectives with perseverance and patience. The important thing is to continue showing up, even on the days when you would prefer to give up. whether that means maintaining a regular exercise schedule, practicing mindfulness, or following a morning routine. A simple way to practice self-discipline is to create small, manageable goals. Trying to change everything at once can be overwhelming and lead to burnout. Instead, focus on one habit or task at a time. Break it down into small steps and commit to taking consistent action, even if it's just a small effort each day. This builds momentum and gradually strengthens your self-discipline. Learning to control distractions is a crucial component of self-discipline. Social media, never-ending to-do lists, and the allure of quick pleasure can easily divert one's attention. However, self-discipline entails being aware of these distractions and making the decision to maintain focus on the most important things. This could be establishing limits on how much time you spend on your phone, or setting up a peaceful area where you can concentrate. It's about making decisions that, even when they're not the simplest, are in line with your values and ambitions. Patience is also necessary for self-discipline. Sometimes you won't notice results right away, or you'll be upset with your progress. In those times, keep in mind that real change takes time. The little everyday tasks are what pile up. Self-discipline is about turning up every day, even when the road appears long, whether you're forming a new habit, honing your talents, or pursuing a long-term objective. Thinking back on the reasons you initially committed to a habit or goal is one of the most effective strategies to cultivate self-discipline. Why is this important to me, you ask? What benefits will it offer me? Pushing through times when motivation wanes is much simpler when you re-establish a connection with your greater mission. You are able to recall your initial motivation, which keeps you moving forward. Self-discipline is about progress, not perfection. It's acceptable to make mistakes or feel like you're not accomplishing enough on some days. The important thing is to get back on track the next day. It's about developing the fortitude to keep going in spite of setbacks. So, practice self-discipline not just as a tool for success, but as a way to honor yourself and your goals. Commit to your habits even when motivation isn't there, and trust that consistency will lead to progress. The more you strengthen your self-discipline, the more empowered you'll feel, knowing that you have the ability to create the life you want, one small action at a time. Lesson 8. Learn something new. Every day. Have you ever realized that the world seems to be moving at breakneck speed than ever? Technology, society, ideas, it all changes at speeds that sometimes feel just too fast. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay current on every change. You can develop the environment of curiosity and assure yourself that you are learning something new every day. This little habit might positively transform your daily life, formulating a new mind frame, and means keeping open to everything that will come to you. Buddhism doesn't only teach to learn and self-improve, it's a way to life. You can take that as thinking about the experiences, the reflection that comes as a result of the experiences, and the wisdom that comes from understanding. In Buddhism, right view, which is to see the world as it really is, to know our place in it, and live in life being open and curious, is a practice. The result of adopting this kind of mindset is that you learn that learning isn't just a task, it's a path of discovery that lasts a lifetime. Learning something new every day doesn't have to be learning a new language or how to be an expert on a complex subject. It has nothing to do with forcing dry antifreeze down my throat. I just can't bring myself to do it. But rather about being open to the little things that life gives, reading an article, listening to a podcast, or even watching someone in nature. It's an opportunity to learn something new or expand on something you already know every day. The secret to all this is to stay curious. ask questions, and to find new experiences that challenge your mind, your thinking. This habit is one of the greatest benefits it is for adaptable. There is always something else to do and twist that is unexpected, and the most successful people are the ones that are adaptable. Every day, you teach your mind how to switch, be open to new ideas, to be adaptive. Being an expert isn't about anything. It's just about being open to growing and exploring. What's so lovely about this practice is that not all learning needs to be structured. It can happen when you least expect it. Just talking to a friend or watching a documentary or a mistake you've made could have some significance, and you'll learn something new. We have a lot of lessons that can be discovered in our everyday moments. The more you're building curiosity, the bigger you will learn that learning is everywhere, in every experience, in every interaction. There is, however, great power in setting small, intended learning goals. Say you would like to read a chapter of a book each day, or 10 minutes to study a new skill. Those little steps together amount to knowledge, which means you're learning and developing an understanding of how the world works. As you grow and grow your knowledge, you'll discover that this leads to new doors that open both personally and professionally. Buddhism places a great deal of value in right effort, which is to say that one puts some effort into developing oneself. Learning something new every day doesn't have to be hard work, but it does require intention. This is about being present in every possible way, being present as physically and actively present, because just showing up and entering a space and being open to taking in what's going on around you, whether in a classroom or on a walk, in a conversation with someone you don't know. And one of the most powerful ways to make this habit part of your daily habit is to make sure you continue a learning journal. Whenever you finish something, take the time to think about what you learned, even if it was a tiny amount. Perhaps you had a new light shed on a subject, or you realized something about yourself. Writing them down is good. It helps you to remember what you learned and also makes you to want to keep learning. It also helps you keep a thread of wonder that you lose if you try to do the same thing every day. It makes you realize that life is full of opportunities for growth, whether you're young or old. In a world that can seem to be going too fast, this practice grounds and engages you as you move through life itself. Therefore, you need to commit to learn something new today. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, it just has to be a step in the right direction of expansion of the mind. Keep yourself open to embrace new ideas, foster curiosity, be ready to change, and be ready to change. Believe me, the more you learn, the more you realize there is so much more to learn, and the higher your life gets. Lesson 9. Set daily intentions. Have you ever lay down and then wake up in the morning and just went through the day? You just reacted to what came up against the day without really knowing where you're going to end up. It's simple to get lost in how busy life is, but what if you'd be able to start each day with purpose and clarity? That's where the practice of setting daily intentions, a simple yet powerful habit that will help you get through the day and get you closer to your goals. Setting daily intentions isn't about to create a strict to-do list or put too much on the line. It's about setting the bounds of your day on a roadmap, so when you spend your hours, it feels like you're heading somewhere, doing something important. The Eightfold Path is so because the fourth step, right intention, is an important part of the Buddhist doctrine. It means working on getting your actions aligned with your values and your goals, and bringing that clarity and making that a conscious decision of how you move through the world. By writing daily intentions, you are actively choosing to harness your energy into what truly does matter for you. What I love about daily intentions is you really don't have to make them complex. An intention could look as simple as, "Today I will be present," or "I will bring patience and calm to my work." Catching up on everything in one day isn't about it. It's about setting your intention, then using that intention to drive you through your work and interactions. Setting an intention means you're committing to being present with intent, even in the presence of distractions. Then, for added bonus mental and emotional clarity, take a few minutes each morning and just reflect and think about what you want to get done that day, emotionally or spiritually. You could think about the things that you need to work on, such as relationships, work, or growth. When you've got a hunch as to the things that make you feel most alive, think of one or two that you most want to remind yourself of during the day. These should feel things you believe in, things you feel strongly about, things you want to be, the person you want to be. Let's take, for instance, if you are doing a challenging task in the office, your intention could be, I will do this task with calm and focus. When you are spending time with loved ones, your intention can be, I will listen deeply, be present in the moment. They're not about perfection, they're about showing up consciously and meaningfully with intent, catching yourself in the process of creating your relationship with the world as you want it to be. The act of setting daily intentions helps you become more in tune with your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions for the entire day. When you have a clear intention, it's easier to see if you're off course or being pulled in other directions. It helps you keep your focus and return back to your purpose as a gentle reminder. This supports you grow in self-awareness, which is a huge part of personal growth and emotional balance. For the Buddhists, the mindfulness is about being present in what you're doing, be it work, conversation, or rest. This practice sets an intention for the day, which gives you a structure to be present and intentional in your actions throughout the day. That is to cultivate mindfulness in the moments of meditation, but also in the moments which constitutes a way of life. Setting daily intentions is one of the good things because it makes you to stop resenting overwhelmed. Having a roadmap of your day helps you not just prioritize your energy, but also to make decisions that are perfectly aligned with your intentions. Starting from your current situation, instead of reacting to every distraction or opportunity, you start to make choice after choice to nudge yourself closer to your goals. Every day, at the end of each day, consider how well you aligned with your intentions. Did you stay focused? Did you arrive as the person you wished to become? This lets you reflect on what you've done right and what you might change in the future to feel the same as you did this time. It's a constant learning practice where you are reminded that personal growth is a process. Simply setting some daily intentions is a basic habit, yet it can change the way you live overall. Starting off each day with a focused goal helps you build a sense of direction and a focus that carries your actions and directs you towards becoming the person you want to be. That being the case, why don't you take a few moments tomorrow morning to set your intentions? Figure out how you want to show up for the day and make it your compass. In time, this practice will lessen the fog of confusion, help you be more conscious of who you really are, and be of more purpose. Lesson 10. End your day with reflection. How often do you take a pause when the day winds down and prepare to rest? The day can so easily pass without you taking in how far you've gotten, or realizing what you've learned, or even whether your action has adhered to your values. One of the best habits out there to ending your day is to reflect, and it helps you stay on track, while at the same time makes you more grateful and growing. Reflection itself is an important part of the path to wisdom in Buddhism. Rather, we are invited to think about how we think and what we do, and how we think that into the world, to expand our knowledge of ourselves and our surroundings. If we are so inclined, we can see where we stand in relationship to them by regularly reflecting on our experiences. By taking a moment to reflect, This simple act can help you not only keep yourself balanced, but keep your life balanced, clear, and on purpose. When you end your day with reflection, you're providing yourself the chance to congratulate yourself on everything you did right, however small, or to learn from what didn't go as planned. It's not a case of you being hard on yourself or dwelling on what went wrong. This is a moment to free yourself from the belief that there isn't any space for you to celebrate your growth and work through the lessons you're learning. There is a learning opportunity in every day of your life, but only by reflecting on it do we get to the heart of the lesson we have learned so you can apply it to your future. And reflection is all beauty because it's not a lot of time. Don't sit for hours and think out every detail of your day. Instead, go ahead and check in with yourself a couple minutes before bed. What did I do? What ideals did I uphold? And how did I do it? Was there a point I could have chosen differently? What did I show up for myself and others? Require a lot of time. You don't need to sit for hours thinking through every detail of your day. Instead, take just a few moments before bed to check in with yourself. Ask yourself simple, open-ended questions like, what went well today? What did I learn? How did my actions align with my values and intentions? Was there a moment where I could have responded differently? How did I show up for myself and others? These questions will have you looking at your wins and at the growth opportunities. By celebrating your successes, you lift your confidence level and encourage yourself to try a little harder to reach your goals. On one hand, by identifying areas where you can improve, you're meeting your intent and make adjustments going forward. Reflection is a tool of headroom. It helps us build a mindset of continuous improvement instead of self-criticism or regret. Right mindfulness is a Buddhist practice of always being aware of one's thoughts and actions. This practice is an extension of reflection at the end of the day, which, instead of focusing on the highlights of your day, is a means of bringing mindfulness to the last moments of your day, so that you can see the big picture of what you did. With this awareness, you become more conscious and make more conscious choices from here out in the moment. To motivate gratitude, reflection is one powerful thing. In reviewing that day, you start to review those small instances of progress, the gestures of kindness, and the learning you had. Turning gratitude on triggers is the ability to turn your focus away from what's missing and onto what's already present in your life. It is a practice that keeps you positive, and then you are grounded, even in challenging times. It's also a good thing to celebrate your progress as you reflect. Whether big or small, when you recognize your efforts, you feel as if you accomplished something, and that feels good and helps you to stay motivated. This celebration doesn't need to be a grand gesture. It can simply be a quiet acknowledgement to yourself. I did well today. It makes us continue the habit of looking for growth and victory in ordinary moments. Reflection incorporates into your evening routine also sets your tone for next day. Ending your day focused, grateful, you're more likely to wake up the next morning with some sort of purpose, direction, focus. The beauty of it, you have the lessons and insight from today's learnings and take them to tomorrow, making a loop of growth and alignment. Brothers, so let's take a moment and reflect tonight. Review what you won, acknowledge what you've learnt, and learn from the obstacles you've experienced. This simple habit will keep you on track with your goals, make you feel grateful, and improve your self-awareness overall. The more you practice reflection each night, the more you'll start to recognize the effect it has on all that you will do each day and turn it into a more purposeful, fulfilled life. Lesson 11. 2025 as a milestone. This would be January 1st, 2025, and imagine you wake up. You look back on the past year and see how much you've done. All that small, intentional habits you've done every day have clustered into this big, extraordinary thing. Your emotions are more balanced. Your mindset has shifted close to where you want it to be. Your life is in more par with your goals and values. Consistency is the magic of starting today and sticking with it. The habits you have been reading about aren't disconnected one-time occurrences. They are the building blocks of a new life. When you make 80 commitments, and when you make those commitments day after day, they compound in ways you can't necessarily see right away, but you feel them deeply many years later. In Buddhism, we're taught that it is through slow motion, the river cutting a path through the stone, that true change happens. It's not about a big, huge thing that's going to change your life, but it's the little bits that add up, the little things that build and that create the transformation that lasts. Starting now with these habits means you're starting to lay the cornerstone for a much more focused, grounded and aligned version of yourself by 2025. Every habit you put in your daily routine has a ripple effect. Practicing gratitude today trains you to think with an abundance mindset, which will see you through difficult times. Developing this mindfulness will leave you at peace enough to respond with calm and clarity to chaotic situations. By doing your daily reflections, you'll learn from everything and become more wise and emotionally intelligent. These habits start off by themselves, then you start seeing how each one helps the next one along. For example, if you practice meditation and mindfulness, and every day you set daily intentions around what you want to focus on, we're talking goals and whatever you need to motivate yourself to work on towards them. Practicing self-discipline makes it easier to show up consistently for the other habits even when you're not motivated. The more you do these habits, the more they become second nature. Not only are they separate tasks, but they're now incorporated into who you are as a person. Imagine how different your life can look in a year from now. By the time 2025 rolls around, when you commit to learning something new every day, you'll be insanely rich in terms of knowledge and wisdom. On the other hand, if you put in time every day to reflect, it will be a huge surprise to you, but by yourself. You'll have created a strong and deep understanding of what you have gone through, including patterns and areas for growth. All the little decisions you make right now is like planting a seed for later on. The more you plant, the more you grow. It's not just about doing the thing to be successful. It's about being the most resilient, adaptable, intentional version of yourself. By 2025, you won't just have bills to look back at. You'll also look back at the person you are today. But when you see them, you'll see someone who has taken the time to be aligned with their values, and who has built the power to adhere to life's challenges with charm, as well as people who have fostered deep relationships and relationships with other people. The start is now. The more distance you let your goals become before you start making these changes, the further your goals will seem. You are setting yourself up for success. However, if you start right now, even with small steps, you are on your way. Every day is a chance to getting a bit closer to who you want to be. This is building each habit as a tool that you will use to face the future with confidence and clarity. Change doesn't happen overnight, and as you move forward, remember that. A plateau in growth is never caused by one big thing or one big effort. It's the little, consistent things that add up to true transformation. Therefore, commit these habits now, and they'll compound over time. When you hit 2025, you won't believe how far you'll have come, how much you will have achieved, and how close you'll be to living the life you've always dreamed about. It's a long journey, but with every day you invest into these habits, you're getting closer to the best version of you. As we wrap up today's lesson, I want to leave you with one important reminder. Also, transformation is a journey, not a destination. The path to a perfect outcome is easy to get lost in, but real growth comes with a time. The real change happens in us, actually starts to show in us, in the small, consistent actions we take every day. Just like any of those other journeys, the path may not be linear, but that doesn't mean that everyone hasn't taken a step forward. If you don't want to miss the actionable tips, motivational wisdom, and the guidance you need to become the best version of yourself, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There is so much with us to explore together. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, one habit at a time, your best self is waiting to be discovered.